What's up, guys? How's everyone doing today? This is Johnny. New week here in Australia, Monday, 10 a.m. First live stream of the day. Got a lot to talk about. Like always, after every great weekend of boxing, I do my first live stream on Mondays talking about the weekend that was. My very next live stream later on today will focus a little bit on the week ahead. We have fights starting on Friday. Lamont, managed by George Kambosos, his father. He's fighting. There's fights in Bulgaria. There's a lot of Sky Nicholson's fighting this weekend. Diego Pacheco's fighting this weekend. There's a lot to talk about. But as you can read the thumbnail, I want to talk about what we saw this past weekend. We did good on our bets once again. If you're in Australia, the draw, the Lamont Roach draw, if you use sports bet, that would have burned you. There were the fight in the UK, the fight in Monte Carlo, we were on until we weren't. It looked good for us until it didn't. Shout out to Kona Walker, and he showed that grittiness. So Kona Walker with the victory, and really showing the pro experience in that grit. And then we obviously had that big card. Beatrice Ferrara got upset. She got starched. She shout out to Elin Turum. I know not a lot of people saw that one coming. So it was a fun weekend in boxing, a fun weekend in MMA. Josh Van is the new champion in MMA. Kind of a freak injury with Pantoja's arm, but there were a couple calls, a couple reads that we were spot on. So we hit in. We had our wins, we had our losses. The draw is the one I want to talk about though, because the draw just doesn't sit with me well. I rewatched the fight again. Shout out to Kyle in our Discord who was streaming the fights. It was awesome. It was a great weekend of boxing. So I want to know how you guys did. Shout out to all the supporters. Guys, if you haven't already joined our Discord, we got Johnny Says Boxing VIPs. It's a couple bucks a month. It's pinned right here. We're growing. We're at close to 320. That makes me more happy than you guys will know is the growth of our community. I'm here to grow a community. I'm here to create a spot of like-minded boxing fans to where we could agree, we could disagree, we could talk about the sport that we love on an educated level and keep it copacetic. Shout out to the super chat, my guy Usyk. What's crack-a-lackin', Usyk? Peter Yan pulled a masterclass. Thank you for the super chat. The masterclass he's talking about, he got his get back against Marab. If you would have, I don't know, Usyk, if you caught our live stream with Nick from Breaking Bad late last week, we talked about this. We talked about how Peter Yan is a nightmare for anybody. We talked about his well-rounded game, his time spent at Tiger Muay Thai, his boxing, his stand-up, his wrestling, his grappling. Peter Yan's a motherfucker. So a couple belts switch hands. Thank you for the super chat. Listen to my man Dwayne. Hit the like button. Doesn't take you that long to just hit a thumbs up. I do got some breaking news for you guys about a project that I've been working on behind the scenes that I haven't told anybody about. I mentioned this on a live stream in July. I talked a little bit about how I wish there was a one-stop shop in boxing that we could all go to on YouTube that is a live interactive feed. And I'm going to say that to say this. When I was a kid in the 90s, one of my favorite things to do when I came home from grade school was to put on ESPN Sports Center. And these are the day and age when Sports Center on ESPN would just have the 24/7 news ticker at the bottom and the major talking points of the day, right? Guess what? We created one. So I'm going to show you what it looks like. This is a demo version. If you guys could do me a favor, go to YouTube, my channel. You'll see in my channel I linked Boxing News Now. Check this out. This is a demo we're launching this week. I'm super excited about this. So what this is, guys, this is a live stream. This will be YouTube's first 24/7 boxing live stream with all of the news, all of the fights, and look, and the ticker on the right. So I have a AI, a data programmer, a software engineer. We got we have a hosting platform, and this is linked to my YouTube. So before we go live, I'm giving you guys a first behind the veil look at Boxing News Now. This is was my brainchild. This was an idea I came up with a while ago. And if you Google or search for, are there any 24/7 live boxing news sites to where you could get 24/7 boxing news sites, what's going on in boxing, the fights that happen, as well as the live betting odds. Now the odds are on the right. It's not a done deal. I could tell my programmer earlier in the day he was working on trying to add the records to the fighters. So as you see the stream on the right, what we're going to have that, what we're going to introduce are the odds. And then I also told him, because if you go to Sportsbet or Bet365 or wherever you bet DraftKings, you'll see the fights, but you'll just see the odds. What I asked them to do is add the records to the odds. So that stream on the right, those are the upcoming fights. But like I said, we're not quite live yet. This is still a demo. You're going to see the live betting odds on the right, and you're going to see their records as well. Boxing news now. The link is pinned in my YouTube section. It says Johnny Says Boxing News Now. Click that and join. And then this week it'll be live. So from here on out, whenever you want to check what's going on in boxing, go to Boxing News Now. We're keeping it running 24/7. And this is, I needed this source. Like people always talk about business and how to improve a sector, whatever sector you're in of business. And if you want to improve the sector, add things that you need. This is a product I need. And this is a product that we're launching to our boys, and it's going to keep evolving. So here we go. I'm going to say what's up to all the gents now. I see everybody tapping in. Let's see here. Super chat, finish shovel the snow. Will Anderson draw was fine for Cruz Roach. I disagree. That dude who said Lamont hurt his hand pre-fight was on point. Yeah, bro. 100%. We saw him in the hospital today. Somebody did say Lamont had an injured hand. Was on point. Shout out to whoever said that in our Discord. I've been saying Jan getting that belt back since day one. He lost it. Yep. Julius, y'all don't sleep on them IBA fight. 100%. Them IBA fights, boy. Cats be eating. ¿Qué pasó, Johnny? ¿Cómo estás, mío? It's bueno. We still good. Leno Bari, always eating. Johnny, we still good. Your boy lost. Oh! You lost 5K. You ain't having Christmas this year? Come on, King. Come on, King. I'm not used to hearing you speak like that. All right, good. All right, good. I ain't used to hearing you speak like that. You're our positive guy. What's up, Win? Win Santiago. Reading is his name. My man always eats, always winning. Ozzy Peaches, that's a Johnny special, man. Well done. Appreciate you, man. Win Santiago, thank you for the super chat. 279 in the house. 5145. We appreciate you. Clark McGrill McCormick lost a lot in amateurs. Late starts. The program isn't. And you know what, Julius? This is moving forward. You know, I thought McCormick was going to do enough. He looked like he was doing enough until he didn't do enough. And you just saw Conor Walker just had a different gear. You know what it is, guys? That pro level is just a different gear. It was insane. He just wasn't. He didn't. God damn, dude. Talk about it. Because I featured the fight. I broke the fight down. I'm cheering for McCormick. You know, I'm cheering for our bet. And, you know, you could kind of see it coming. You could kind of see the momentum shifting. And it was like pulling a Band-Aid off really slow. Does Pacheco get the win this weekend? It's a good fight. Sajo's good, man. It's hard for me to bet. I like Diego. I think Diego is one of these guys. Every time we see him, we see different gears. I think he, you know, what he looked like against Steven Nelson and then what he looked like in his last fight. I like the work that they're doing up in the Pacific Northwest. I like the Benavides camp, Pacheco. He's still really young for the weight class he's going to fill out. It's a real test. You know, Sajo is a real fighter. Lost on Marab and Pantoja. We can't win them all, Floyd. Is it true, Imam? Yep. Katiev is fighting this weekend, boys. Let's pull it up while we bullshit. Guys, before we pull it up, go to this. Guys, this link is pinned on my YouTube channel. Boxing News Now. This is our new 24/7 all things boxing live stream on YouTube and the boxing lines. It's what I just talked about. We're not live yet. We're going to launch our first live stream ticker this week. But before we do that, it'd be cool if you guys joined in. To the 22 people who've already subscribed, I say thank you. I put this news in our Discord last night. So for the 22 boys supporting this, guys, this is a tool you guys are going to use. You guys don't have to go anywhere else. You could go to YouTube, Boxing News Now, see the updated news and see the updated odds. And it's going to be ever evolving. We're going to pull up the odds since we're already getting into it. Yeah, so Imam Khatib is fighting Friday in Australia at 12:45. Adam Dennis. So there's fights, guys, this week there's fights on Friday. This is Australia time. There's fights on Friday. There's fights on Saturday. There's fights on Sunday. Tito Mercado is fighting. Badu Jack is fighting. Diego Pacheco. Joe Cordina fighting in the States. He's the favorite, but as the B-side. Badu Jack versus McCasian. Sky Nicholson. Of course, she's not fighting anybody with good. Of course, that's an 11-1. Can we get Sky in a 50-50 fight? Tito Mercado. Dude, Antonio Moran. That's a fun fight. Good to see Tito Mercado back. Chevion Clark is back. We last saw Chev Clark. He's a Brit. Another huge favorite. That's a get-back fight. Arturo Popoca versus Cesar Vaca. We cover both of these guys. Arturo is a RGBA guy. He, we featured him on the show. We actually saw Cesar Vaca fight live. He fought Sam Goodman in Sydney. Guys, Cesar Vaca was a lot better than I thought he was going to be. And look, I'm high on Popoca, but I think Popoca still has some questions to answer. Dude, Cesar Vaca's been fighting at a high level. That's a fun fight. That, I think Cesar Vaca has a chance in that fight. Yeah, definitely subscribe, guys. That's that dude, it's for the boys. The boxing news now live stream is for the group. Is the Canada card this Thursday on your radar? Yeah, so it's Thursday in America. It's Friday. Yeah, I'm breaking down the Katayev and Adam Danes fight. That's my first. I'm uploading my breakdown, prediction, and feature of Amon Katayev versus Adam Danes. That's my first Stats on Live video this week. So to answer your question, yes, sir. Katayev is so good. Amon by knockout. Katayev is a nightmare to deal with. We've seen him win. We've seen him lose. He fought David Morrell really tough. We watched him in Australia before the Morrell fight, and he fought a really tough Derval Palacio. We saw him against Derval Palacio, and maybe I was just underrating Derval, but Derval fought him well, dude. Derval was, nip and tuck with him for a while. Derval Palacio could crack. And then as that fight went on, Katayev started slowing down. It looked like Palacio was landing some bombs. So I thought that was signs of wear and tear going into the Morrell fight. Nope. He fought Morrell really tough, really close, and almost ruined our parlay. So Imam Katayev is legit. Sky Nicholson has another. Yeah, I know. Not too exciting, right? We can't get too excited. Andrew Charles, I thought Cruz was giving Roach all he could handle the first half. I agree, but he weathered the storm. I thought he won every round same. I thought he pulled off the W. Yeah, I thought Roach, I had Roach winning too by a few rounds. I thought, Pitbull was frustrated after about the fifth round. I love something nobody talks about. I love the fact that Lamont fought him on the inside. Lamont fought Roach's fight at the beginning, and then he also boxed him on the outside. I like the messaging from Bill Haney. I'll pull it up in a second. Bill Haney left a message for Lamont Roach. Told him to do the Devon. Good messaging. I have Marab and one on Pantoja rounds not going. Nice, good hit. Actually, you picked Marab, but you won on Pantoja. Yeah, so I hit on 5 of 5 of my UFC bets. Now so one part I hit Luis Nunez on the money. This is my boxing parlay. I had Nunez on the money line, Lucero on the money line, Frank Martin money line. Ramos, Lara, Shock Foster. So that I hit that. I missed on the long parlay because Beatrice Ferreira, she lost. I didn't see that one coming. And then my UFC parlay, I hit on Myron Santos money line. My upset of the week, Manny Torres to beat Grant Dawson, and I took Tatsuro Taira to Brandon Moreno. Shout out to Nick from Breaking Bad. I had a good time breaking the fights down with him. He knows his shit. I mean, I had yeah, okay. I had Pietro Yan. Guys, Mike Tyler won his fight tonight. Mike Tyler, love from the UK, went 11-0. It was a weird fight. Was told to go easy and not to do much. Need sponsors to pay for better step-up opponents. Guys, Mike is 11-0. He's our boy. He's in the Discord. He's a Johnny Says Insider. 11-0. Mike, I gotta let you know, man. As I keep coming up, I'm gonna put if I could this time, give me another 6 months because we're growing. This time in 6 months, Mike, I'll be able to do a sponsor for you. I'll be able to put what I'm gonna do is put Johnny Says Boxing, or maybe we'll put our Discord on your shorts. So JSB Discord, John, something along those lines, and we could collaborate, or we could come up with the idea together. But I used to promote and market a couple fighters in Sydney, and that's what I would do. I would put my brand on their shorts, pay a one-off sum. That was that was during the pandemic, and I had a business partner. Right now, I started this whole vision on my own, but we're growing. Give me time, Mike. You keep fighting, keep winning. Cordina versus Flores, no distance. Any upset alert? I love this chat, boys. I don't care. I don't care what anybody says. I'm not in it for what other people say. I'm in it for the community. We're already talking about upset alerts. Dude, we are businessmen. I always talk about we are archaeologists. We're digging in, we're finding, we're searching our wins, but we out here standing on business. Whether we won or lost, people have already turned the page. Who's on boss man's like, yo, on some real shit, who's on upset alert, dog? Let's just get to it. I'm right now off jump. I'm gonna be taking a good eye at Caesar Vaca versus Popoka. Like I told you, I'm a fan of Arturo. I'm a fan of his style. Guys, mate, rewatch Caesar Vaca versus Sam Goodman. I think there was a knockdown in the fifth round that wasn't called. I think Caesar dropped Sam Goodman. He cut him. Caesar Vaca impressed me. I'm just saying, I got to be honest with you. So I'm not saying, give me some time. He's a real veteran. I know Arturo Popoka's on the come up. That's a fun fight. Keep an eye on it. Yeah, Pulev versus Gassiev. 8 going 12. Hats off, Johnny Flyer. Sim ticking was shocked when everyone was outside. Mate, I was this close. I was a draw from a perfect weekend, and the receipts are out there. You know this game we play, guys. I don't like talking. I actually don't like talking about my wins, just like I don't talk about my losses. I don't do this to be braggadocious. I do this for community. I want you guys to win. I want everybody to eat. I want everybody to come up. That's literally why I do this. I think it's pretty clear that's why I do this. But Pat McCormick fading in those last few rounds and then the draw, if the betting gods were in my favor slightly, we would have won 100%. we would have won 100% on it. But sometimes they don't go our way. And when they do, that's why we got to be happy, right? Only way Kataev loses is if his opponent goes to the body constantly and is successful. Got that pop. That's a fun fight, Pet. That's a fun fight. Oh, well, you remember that boy, don't you, Chef? You remember that fight I'm talking about, boy. We was sweating. We were sweating watching Morel versus Katiev, boy. Lying to ourselves like, man, no, that ain't land. That punch ain't even land. Morel way up. And then you're really watching. It's like, I don't know, man. Katiev is eating right now, boy. But yeah, we got a good one. He almost ruined our parlay. Do you enjoy Lawler's fights? I think they're a bit boring. Floyd, you know what I'm saying, man. You know me well enough, Floyd. I do like the technique side of things. It was a bit boring. I'm not going to sit here and say it wasn't boring. I think it was one of those like ill-fated fights, right? The luster was removed with Alam Hanale popping, okay? And then you had it's kind of sandwiched in between, some other fights. And we had Shock on the card, we had Pitbull on the card, and there's expectations. You had Frank Martin. I mean, Frank looked devastating in there. Rancis definitely looked his age. You saw the fight. The last 30 seconds is how fans wanted the whole fight to go. But guys, at 42, Arislandi Lara is making business decisions. So I'm 43. Everything I do is on business behind the scene. You know what I'm saying? Like he's putting his health on the line. So call it boring. You know what we can still, call it. We could still call him a champion. And so as long as he has that belt, and say what you will about it, he's 42, still has a belt. He's still going to be sanctioned for big money fights, and he's going to ride this out until somebody beats him. So I'm not mad. It wasn't his fight to lose. It was Johan Gonzalez's fight. So Gonzalez lost that fight. You know what I mean? But I agree with you. It wasn't eye-catching stuff. The last 30 seconds was good. And then the first round, that backhand, you saw flashes. I'm leaning Cordina to stop Flores. Flores ain't nothing special at all. Flores is a club level. I like Joe Cordina, Julius. You know what I'm saying? We cover Cordina on the channel. And as we grow, guys, and this is our 6th month of live streaming, and this is our 4th month of our boxing Discord. What we're seeing here is we're starting to see fighters that we've collectively together broke down. You know what I'm saying? So where I knew that going into this. My first live stream in July, I told myself, or in June, I said, it's okay now, but give me a year. My first Stats Don't Lie video a couple years ago, I told myself, it's shit now, but give me 2 years. Give me 3 years. So I've always been about this long-term approach. Our content is going to continuously get better. Our boxing knowledge is going to continuously stay on point, and our memories are going to be. So my point is, we've covered Cordino. He didn't look that bad on his comeback fight. I know a lot of people bet against him. We won money on Cordina in his last fight. I got to do my due diligence on Flores Jr., and I'll get back to you. Bobsy, what's crack-a-lackin'? Sent from Pet. I took a quick look at the resumes, and Cordina may stop Flores. Got the same reach, but Cordina. See, we got some educators out here, boy. Guys, I also want to let you know, anybody who are content creators out there, I know you guys should be letting me know you guys have your own YouTube channels, right? Especially the Johnny Says Insiders. If you boys are in the Discord and you're a VIP and you have a YouTube channel, why aren't you guys messaging me? Why aren't you telling me you do? Because I'll platform you. I'll bring you on. I want you guys to grow as well. So I found out yesterday some of you guys had YouTube channels. I was like, how come you guys didn't tell me? I'll bring you on to help spread the word. So keep that in mind. Flores is just there to make Cordina look good. You know what I'm hesitant on Cordina being the favorite. Look, I like Cordina in this fight. I gotta watch more Flores. I cooked on Cruz throwing. Oh, I saw that. You threw that little. I saw that little parlay you threw up. Or somebody threw up a little ticket in the Discord that had Cruz throwing more punches and like landing more or something like that. But he didn't land more than Lamont though. Lamont outstatted him all across the board, to be honest. I think all except body shots. Good hit though, boys. Did you see that Mano Ramos fight? That's the one I didn't see. I didn't see I had Jesus winning, but my girlfriend, guys, you know me, man. I got to take care of home. There was a R&B song back in the day called Take Care of Home. You got to take care of home. So your Saturday nights are my Sundays, and my Sundays I got to take care of my baby girl. So we were out doing things. So I did get to see the other fights. I missed the Ramos Shane fight. Cordina, pass, best, and vulnerable. All right, Bobsy, I'm gonna listen. I'm gonna check Flores Jr.'s tape. You guys saw anything in Flores and Cordina past fights? Dude, we got some. I love how educated our chat is on some real shit. Guys, could you like this video? We're approaching 25 minutes. We're going between 30 and 40 people in here. Could you just like the video? Also, join the Discord. The link's pinned in the comment. The super chats, thank you to everybody who's left the super chat. That means more than you know. And we're growing, so stay tuned. Also, hit that new hit Boxing News Now YouTube. I'll bring it back up for the boys joining. Guys, if you're just tapping in now, let me know, because I covered something really important at the beginning of the live stream. I'll recover it if you're just tapping in. Cordina was about to fight Shakur. He was, and we were excited to see that. I can't wait to see Tito fight. Tito Mercado's a fun guy. We'll see if he is who he thinks he is. If Tito Mercado is who he thinks he is, we got a potential star on our hands. We just got to see more, don't we? McKenna, Adames, Mono, and Isaac will beat Laura. Yeah, I like Aaron McKenna. Yeah, I mean, Mono, Troy, Alam Hanale. Guys, this week we're supposed to get the news about his B test. So, I'll be talking about it. Bud Crawford beats Laura at 60. That's easy money for Bud. Cordina, not a pressure fighter nor a puncher. Flores, the home fighter and in his prime. I don't know if I'm buying into the fact that Cordina's not in his prime, though. Who's Royval fighting, love? Raw Dog is who's Raw Dog fighting? This is a fun ass card. Brandon Royval is the underdog. He could pot. No, you mean Manel Kopp could be on upset alert. But I get your point. Dude, don't sleep on Starboy, dude. Starboy's that dude. I don't know, man. That's a fun fight. That's a hell of a fight, Brandon Royval versus Manel Kopp, man. Starboy versus Raw Dog, dude. Those guys both have a high energy. Both think they're stars. Dude, it's tough to bet against Manel. Manel Kopp is that dude. I've been watching Manel Kopp since the Euro days, the year before he got to the UFC. And I remember watching Royval in the LFA. So I've kind of come up with these boys. I'm cheering for both of them. Great feature fight. Look at Giga Chikadze on the comeback on the underdog against Kevin Vallejos. This is a fun little card, mate. Dude, Melky Costa. That's a fun fight versus bro. Melky Costa versus the last pirate. Morgan Sherrier. I remember watching Morgan Sherrier in Cage Warriors in the UK. If you guys are betting on this fight and you're just looking at Morgan's record, don't do it. Because Morgan Sherrier had 5 or 6 losses on the come up in the Euro scene. That dude is a dog. And Melky Costa is a dog too, a Brazilian. He's the one with the I don't want to I think it might be alopecia. It might you know him. He is the skin the same thing that there was a kid in the mid 2000s who fought with Uriah Faber who had the same thing. Anyway, both guys are dogs. That's a 50-50 fight. I mean, they're just leaning on Costa's grappling to be too much for Cherrier. Kennedy and Juku. This one, Joe Anderson Brito versus Bagdasarian. That's a fun fight. Dude, when Bagdasarian first broke through into the UFC, I thought Bagdasarian was like a potential champ. But you kind of see these mental lapses in his fights. You kind of see him almost like his conditioning isn't all the way there like it should be. But he's a mean dude. He's a dog. I thought his career would go a little bit differently. And once again, how do you not sprinkle something on the old dog, the old unk, Neil Magny? Underdog against Amosov. I'm gonna catch up to the boxing chat. These boys. I'm gonna blame it on the chat. All right, yeah, my bad. What did I say? I said I knew you guys would correct me. Vitiligo. I said alopecia. I was way off. Samson, Swanson, Samsonite. I was way off. How do you feel about Tito and Sky? I mean, they're both favorites. I talked about beginning of the chat. I'd like to see Sky be in a 50-50 fight. And with Tito, it's just good to see him fighting. You know what I'm saying? We haven't, hasn't been the most active guy. What's the NFL? I got a little sneaky prop on the NFL. Caleb Williams, 109. I need Gino to pick up the yards real quick. 116, and he's injured, questionable. Well, that parlay's dusted. Badu Jack. Yeah, the fight is almost 50-50. Let me show you something Lamont Roach posted, boys. This is Lamont's story a couple hours ago. Thank you to everybody who came out to fuck with me. Well, we're doing an acronym for fuck with me. I think in 50 years, the average 20-year-old won't know how to properly dictate or write. I think it's hilarious. Thank you to everybody who came out to FWM and witnessed a legendary night. I love you. And everybody against the shit. Fuck you, SMD. Oh, yeah. But he's in the hospital. He's in the hospital there. So shout out somebody on my I played a message. I played a message from somebody in my Discord who sent me a message who said Lamont Roach had a broken hand. This was going into fight night. This was Thursday night. Yeah, I put this news leaked. This news leaked. Because we had it in our Discord. Next year, cards on UFC will start 1 hour earlier instead of 4 a.m. Main card will be at 3 a.m. Where do you live at, Pat? Are you a Brit? Johnny, you think if Spence come back, it's at 160? It's a hard one, man. You know, that one's a loaded question. Do I want to see Errol back if he's healthy? 160, 47, 54, maybe. I mean, Errol versus what if Errol came back to fight Lara? It would have look, if Errol Spence ever does fight again, it would have to be really specific matchmaking. I wouldn't want I don't want to see Errol versus Virgil Ortiz. I don't want him in there against a young, hungry guy in his prime. I want to see Virgil. He's an unk now. Or I want to see Errol. Errol's what, 36 now? I want to see. Give Errol Lara. I ain't mad at it. Oh, you're from Sweden. Nice. Welcome. I never knew that. Now I know. Sweden. Swedes. Yeah, we kept sharing that message. I'm so glad I ain't bet on him. Smart boy. You a wise boy. Spence should fight either Mel, Lara, or Castano. Shout out to Brian Castano, boy. We haven't heard that name. We haven't heard that name in a while. This was a fun fight. These are some of the fight. This is from my story. Frank Martin looked like a dog. That's me as a strain. So if you guys ever could get to Sydney, by the way, so this is that's under the Harbor Bridge. This is about 5 miles from my house. So we went down here. So that's the Harbor Bridge, and then under the Harbor Bridge is the Opera House. But I've lived all over the world. Sydney is by far my favorite city I've ever lived in. Absolutely stunning. Absolutely beautiful. So right around this corner, that's the Opera House. And there's boat taxis and ferries. It's the only city I ever lived in where I could take a boat, a train, a bus, and the public transportation coming from an American perspective. Because I know the Brits, this is Luna Park, the Brits will kind of talk shit about Sydney's public transportation, but coming from Vegas and LA, dude, Sydney's public transit's on point. This is why I couldn't watch the Mosley fight, by the way. My girl and I went to a Stranger Things. I gotta take care of home, boys. I gotta take care of home. But I saw the highlights. This was Ramos. I heard this was a great fight. I'm gonna watch it today. This was Manny Torres. We called this one my dog of the week hit. Manny Torres eating. Thought he'd be too much. That's the way it played out. Stranger Things. This is Shock. Guys, Shock was a good read, boy. All you boys on Team Shock, we saw it coming. We saw him go, he was big brothering him. I couldn't give Fulton 1 round. And I don't know what this is called psychologically, but I swear, boxing fans will pick a guy because they think the guy is more attractive in a non homosexual way. I think it's a human psychology behavior when you're looking at of like, even like I said, non-intimate attraction. You see, it's boxing fandom. Think about all the boxers who have massive followings. It's usually not about it's about their marketability. So people would probably look at Shock Foster's box rec picture and look at Stephen Fulton's box rec picture. I don't know. I don't have any facts or studies around this, but I was shocked so many people were saying Fulton was losing or Foster was going to lose. And my mind went after watching all the tape, watching these guys' careers. I was like, this must be because they think that they must think that Fulton's better looking. I don't know. It's just a theory. I think there's something to it. I don't care what y'all say. I don't care what y'all motherfuckers say. Lamont Roach won that punk ass fight. He did everything he wanted to do. He controlled the entire freaking fight from the 5th round onwards. Yes, he started slow, but Pitbull got that ass beat the entire fight from the 5th round onwards. Pitbull didn't have any answers, dude. Roach fought him in the pocket, fought him where Pitbull wanted to fight. Even the knockdown was kind of, they didn't click feet. I thought maybe I slowed it down. I was like, maybe they tripped. They didn't trip. But it wasn't, it was like, okay, you got to score to knock down. The glove hit the canvas. But it wasn't like Lamont was hurt. And then you mix the frustration with Pitbull, his lack of adjustments. You just got to see a guy in Roach whose boxing skill, like as a boxer, so many more tools and weapons and skills versus Pitbull, who's so one dimensional. And we knew that. I thought it was a horrible scorecard. The 116 and 111 was atrocious. And I had Roach at least winning by 3 rounds. They both had 10-8 rounds. Pitbull, I counted 9 low blows by Pitbull, 9 low blows, at least 7 headbutts, and 3 jumping headbutts. 3 of these jumping headbutts. If you guys go back to watch the Floyd Mayweather Jr. versus Victor Ortiz fight, everybody remembers when Floyd, after the point was deducted, when Floyd hit Victor late, or when Floyd hit Victor when Victor didn't have his hands up. What do you think started that? It was because Victor Ortiz was jumping up and headbutting him. Dude, Pitbull could have had at least 2 points deducted. All that aside, the stats, the low blows, the boxing skills, where the fight took place, the lack of adjustments by Pitbull. Pitbull couldn't land anything for the last 7 rounds. It was that draw was atrocious. I'll stand on that. Do you guys follow him? He's hilarious.
So y'all just gonna work my mind like that? Let's be honest now. Even if you not Lamont Roach fan, can we all be honest about tonight? He whooped the shit out of Bulls, man. He can't come in there with that fake mic. Tyson shit, he started dropping shit on his ass. Out of all 12 rounds, my man won at least 7 or 8 of them joints.
100%.
Seven guaranteed.
100%. If you're not following David Ruffin, man, you guys are missing out. He's one of my favorite content creators, especially when the Cowboys play. I mean, I was watching people. The only people saying Pitbull won are Pitbull fans. When I'm watching boxing commentators say that they're happy with their draw, I'm like, what freaking fight did you watch? What freak? How are you happy? Pitbull didn't beat in a fight. Who won the fight? You're gonna say Pitbull beat Lamont up? Lamont beat him up, dude. Belt the ass. Was fighting him on different levels too. I'm talking work in the the body work should have been a little, but his angles, his hooks, his counters, everything where he wanted the fight to take place, his footwork. Pitbull was outclassed, dude. Come on, dude. What are we doing? That's not even a good argument. Oh yeah, I collect sports cards since I was a kid. Cal Ripken Jr. rookie, Ozzie Smith rookie, Art Monk rookie, Ricky Henderson rookie. Google that one. That's that new card. Dan Marino rookie, Ken Griffey Jr. Upper Deck's first card ever. Frank Thomas, the Big Hurt rookie. That's a gold signature collector's choice. Pulled that out of a pack. Michael Jordan, Walter Payton rookie, Mickey Mantle 1969, one of my favorite players of all time. Earl Campbell, if you don't know now, you know, and 2 LeBron rookies. Holla. Every now and then you got to dust them off. So this is our new live stream. I told you guys about this. Boxing News Now on YouTube. Follow Boxing News Now. Scan that joint. This is a message to everyone. Y'all better stay locked in. Guys, I'm a coach first and foremost. The idea that it's the end of the year, people are just going to get drunk every day, eat bullshit food, throw all of their hard work away for the year, fuck their relationships up and act crazy because it's the end of the year. That shit's for the weak. That shit's bullshit. You stay locked in. You stay disciplined. Eat real food. Stop getting fucking drunk. Stay focused and damn savage. Still good. I hate excuses for the lack of discipline, mate. I hate seeing these messages. It's the silly season, man. Stop being a hoe. You know he got robbed. I heard you got robbed. He's like, you ain't hear shit because you was doing shit. That's our boy Mike. Our boy Mike. Follow Mike TV. 11-0. Has 11th pro fight. Mike Tyler. Shout out to my mans. So what we're going to do is for your next fight, we're going to put Johnny Says Boxing on them shorts on 100. Come on, man. I'm going to start using Slim at the end of my question. Come on, Slim. Bud Crawford is that dude. This is a great article. Go to Forbes.com. You can read that whole article. And we're caught up now. We're caught up. We're going to get back to boxing. I'm going to see where the boys are at. I know that was controversial. Y'all cats did not like my Pitbull take, but I don't care. I do not care if you guys think the Pitbull won. There ain't no way. As somebody who coaches boxing, who grew up boxing, when you're watching a fight, Pitbull did not beat Lamont in a boxing match. What are we talking about? He didn't land more. He threw more. He didn't land more punches. He didn't land more. He didn't have any statistical category if we're playing the stats. And then the optics. Pitbull runs in and gets hit. And then what are we doing? Not like even then again, man, I am a bit one-sided with technique. Like I said, I do favor the technicians. I do favor, and that's my own bias. I don't really like the one-dimensional sluggers. I don't like bullies, in general. So that sort of style for me. Who's the big Cuban? There's a big Cuban. He fights like a bully, but he's technical with the high guard. Not Yanis Tellis. It's gonna kill me. I know you guys will let me know who I'm talking about. So there's way you could be a technical bully, with which I'm all about. I don't like the sluggers who try to get away with front foot aggression when they're doing things. They're skipping steps. Technically, they're skipping steps. I don't like fighters like that. Yenli Hernandez. I knew it. Yeah. Yenli is a bully, but that Yenli, I call him Yenli. He he does it in a technical way. Yo yo, facts. You guys ever see Full Metal Jacket? You ever see that movie Full Metal Jacket? You know that quote about Texas? He's like, "Where you from, boy?" Texas. He's like, "Texas? The only thing from Texas are steers and queers, and I don't see no horns." There you go. Full Metal Jacket. Full Metal Jacket it's like two movies rolled into one. If you haven't seen Full Metal Jacket, come on. The first half of the movie when they're in boot camp, I think they're um yeah, Chris Weeks, Marine. My two best friends were Marines. They went to boot camp at Camp Lejeune. Hoorah. Yo, 100. I don't need that would never happen, but 100. I like to see Roach versus Foster. What do you think? Yo, I ain't mad at it. It kind of makes sense. I think they're all trying to gun for Shakur. I do put look. Shakur's one of my favorite fighters. I just put Shakur on just a different level. I mean, I put Shakur. If Shakur isn't on your top, Shakur's in my top 5 pound for pound list. Shakur Stevenson is a goddamn world class boxer. When I think about what a boxer looks like, the optics of how a boxer boxes, I think of Shakur Stevenson. So when I'm watching a guy like Pitbull, I'm like, this is some Timu ass shit. Like I'm watching Pitbull box, I'm like, this cat, straight lines, not throwing jabs, headbutting people, hitting people in the dick, dirty. Not my cup of tea. I've never watched a Pitbull fight. I was like, damn, this dude's a dog. Like, I've always said it. Shakur boring. Cue Roger Mayweather. He could be boring. He could be boring. Do you think Roach could beat Foster? Hmm. I don't know, man. I would probably tip. I would probably take Shock in that fight. I would take Shock in that. I'm high on Shock Foster. I've always been high on Shock Foster. He Shock has a different, but Roach has it too. I think Shock would kind of shade him slightly. Can you mention your thoughts on Badu Jack? Badu Jack, man, I think he's had this renaissance of a career. This autumn summer. So it's hard to count Badu Jack out. Let's see the current odds right now. I mean, we got some dude. We got some old heads fighting. No rare occasion. I'm gonna break this fight down for you, Chris. Stay tuned to the channel. This is the one. Oh, Alec Thurman versus Pitbull Brickhead Cruz. Tank over everybody. Leonard Ellerby voice. Every time I think of Leonard Ellerby, I think of Adrian Broner. It's Leonard Ellerby's had this long career, but something about his name, I'll never forever to get. It's hard for me to get past that press conference. Gang, gang. When AB just went after Ellerby, it's one of my favorite moments. Um, did anyone? Yeah, we watched it. We covered it. We streamed it. I had Paul Fleming going into the fight. Paul Fleming was my dog of the week. I got to be honest with you. It was either a draw or Jake won. And I have money on Fleming. I thought Paul Fleming's one of those guys who's so talented, he'll frustrate you as a fan because he it's almost like because he's having fun in there. And so it's hard to judge his anybody out there who's never boxed, think twice before you really judge a fighter who's boxing. And I mean that it like you could commentate and you could say your opinion, but it's really hard to hold a performance against an athlete who's a fighter if you don't really know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? So Fleming is out there having fun. Fleming is a very skilled fighter. And in his boxing, his art, it's a craft. He's showcasing it. It's just sometimes, though, he kind of like, I was happy that he got the draw, but for what he spoke afterwards, how he was yelling at the crowd, and he is a showman. They call him Showtime Paul Fleming, so it's all part of his sort of thing. And I'm a big fan. I'm a dude. Fleming and I know Fleming. I'm glad he came back and he fought. You know, he fought well. I thought he could have did a little more. I thought it was evident he was a class above Jake when it came to skills, but Jake's output, his pressure, his willingness to want. Jake wanted a dogfight. Paul wanted a box, which I'm always going to side with the boxer. Paul had the cleaner work. So yeah, I'm not mad at the draw, but how Paul handled that. Coach Bermudez, are you Sydney? Did you land, bro? If you landed, Coach, send me a message on Instagram because I know you're at Bondi Boxing with Tony Delvecchio. I used to manage a fighter from that gym, so I'm really well versed on that gym. And I know you're supposed to be in Sydney this week. Not yet. Okay, when you land, could you send me a message on Instagram and we'll link up? Because, like I said, I'll bring the gear. I'll bring the filming gear. I'll do some features on your fighters. We'll get the link up. I'll show you around. It'll be good. Let me know. Thanks for the super chat, big dog. Leonard Allaby looked like Isley brother. I love the Isley brothers. I grew up listening to it. Leonard Allaby, a G. I like Leonard Allaby. Gang, gang. This guy thinks Adrian. This guy thinks Adrian Broner beat Manny. Who said that? You about to, Rodrigo? You about to get put on a timeout out here? Who said that? Who said that? Oh, you guys are arguing with somebody in the chat. I always thought AB played a better villain role compared. I kind of the sad thing for me about AB's career is like it was too put on. You know what I mean? Like he obviously was trying to do Floyd 2.0. So we kind of never got to see who was AB. You know what I mean? But in terms of hand speed, talent, shit, goddamn, you're not going to see you're not going to see many boxers ever who had that skill set. That's 100%. That hand speed, man, when he was in his prime, Jesus, his reaction time, his reflexes, his countering, his personality, like all of it. Not many fighters ever had that Adrian Broner bag. Say what you will about sort of the four division world champion. Say what you will about how he got those four division world champ, but that's boxing. Get elevated, fight for vacant titles, etc. Not many four division world champions. You know, there's what Manny's the only eight division world. Here's the list. Manny's the only eight division world champion, and even that has asterisks. There's no seven division world champion. Oscar De La Hoya, six division world champion. And then there's there's like a handful, I think 12 or 15 people who are four division world champions. Adrian Broner's one of them. And Terrence Crawford, 30, 35, 40, 47, 54. How long? Where did he fight Ricky Burns at 30? Did he fight Burns at 30 or 35? He fought Burns at 35. So 35, 40, 47, 54, 68. So Crawford's a five division world champion. But Adrian Broner's a four division world champion. Not many four division world champions on paper. But we never really got to see he was trying to be Floyd so hard, you know what I mean? He was trying to do that whole we know. You guys know. I'm not telling you boys nothing you don't know. You guys fuck I'm talking to. You guys know what time it is. All right, let's talk. We got about 5 minutes. We got a big week of boxing. Badu Jack, does he get it done here? Do you guys have faith in Badu Jack? Yeah, he's a Swede, making Swedish boxing proud. The ageless one, 42 years old. I love seeing the old heads still in shape. Badu Jack, Lara, Bud's an old head now. Usyk. We got who's the big Bulgarian who's fighting this weekend? He's 58. The Golden Boy. Johnny Gary said he the undefeated GOAT at this boxing cap, and you agree. I think you better. He can say what he wants. I appreciate your support, though. I appreciate your support. Yeah, I don't come at it with an ego, mate. Anybody, he can be whatever he wants to be. You can be whatever the fuck you want. Yeah, 35. It was a crazy fight. People forget, Rodrigo, how Bud used to have to constantly be the B-side traveling to get fights. That was a big fight. Burns was a champion. Kubrat Pulev, yeah. 132 years old. Fighting Gassiev. Kubrat's what? 58? AB is trapped in a bucket of crabs. Hope, bro, we ain't gonna see it, man. Sweden in the house. Sent for pet. Sweden in the house. Pet, is Badu Jack a star in Sweden or no? Like, to see if Badu Jack walked around the streets in Sweden, would people recognize him? Damn, John Pascal, Marcus Brown, Derek Edwards. So this is who he's fighting. Mika John. Oh shit. Narer Mika John. We covered Narer Mika John on this channel. When he fought Bradis. He lost to Bradis. Oh shit, this is a rematch. We covered the first fight. So this fight's in LA on Triller. Badu Jack still representing Triller. He a OG. Luis Ortiz. Is he still active? Surely Ortiz isn't still active. Surely you can't be serious. Of course I'm serious, and don't call me Shirley. He just fought? What the hell? God damn, we missed that one, boys. I didn't know King Kong fought. Was that this year? How did 46 years old? Boy. Yes, he is. In Europe, you can become a star without doing much compared to the US. Interesting. I like your nihilistic approach about stardom, too. I'm the same. I'm not a big fan of stars. We are stars. We are all stardust. Yo, Johnny, props to you and Gary for that Foster and Fulton scouting report. Y'all were spot on, gang. London Ross, props to you for supporting us, supporting the channel and the community. Guys, we got an intelligent-ass group here. So, I mean, I'm just the purveyor. I'm just the loud voice. But, I mean, you know what was crazy, though, London, is I did a poll on YouTube, and I talked about this in my breakdown on my Stats Don't Lie video, is the fact that 1,000 people on YouTube voted when I said who's going to win, Shock or Fulton. 60% of YouTube said Fulton. I did the same thing on Instagram. About 1,000 voted. 80% of people on Instagram said Fulton. Only 20% said Shock. And I was like, I felt like I was being gaslit. I was like, what the fuck? What are they seeing that I'm not seeing here? And so it was just one of those things that we don't always get it right. Nobody always gets it right. But when we get it right, it feels good to get it right like that. You know what I mean? I don't mind getting it wrong. Like Pat McCormick, I got Pat McCormick wrong. But everything I said about the Pat McCormick Kona Walker fight was playing out perfectly until he got stopped. So even getting it wrong on that, I don't mind getting it wrong on that. It's when you miss big. Like you guys are gonna say my biggest miss was betting against my favorite fighter, but that's not my biggest miss. My biggest miss this year, we're gonna have. Look, I don't. I've never positioned myself. It's not in my ethos as a man. I do my best to live my life with the removal of ego. I don't give a fuck about ego. I don't really hang out with people who have big egos. Like you could take your ego and leave it at the fucking door because the people who live their life behind an ego, they think they're gonna live forever. Okay, so I don't live with an ego. So I don't want to do like it's the end of the year, end of 2025 awards. We're gonna do like best fighter, best fight, biggest comeback, biggest dog, that sort of thing. For me though, my personal awards, I'm gonna do my biggest fail, like the worst call, my worst read. And right now of 2025, my worst read, my worst read. I want to see if you guys know. I want to see. What do you think my worst read this year was? Because I'll tell you my worst read, and I'm salty about it. And it's not what you think. It's not Bud Canelo. It's not Bud Canelo. I'll just leave it at that. It's not Bud Canelo. Johnny, what's the deal with the boxing 247 channel? I got So I'm gonna end this in a second. My worst read was picking. What was betting against Kid Schofield. I picked Tevin. No, it was Tevin. Figgy Shock is up there. Figgy. You mean Figgy Fulton? Yeah, Figgy Fulton was bad. But don't you think? I thought Tevin getting starched in one round by Kid Austin was the fucking horrible read. Even Zoo Fandora, I flip flop that. So Zoo Fandora is my flip flop of the year. Zoo Fandora flip flop of the year. Oh, Berlanga Shiraz. That was my Berlanga. I could categorize these. Me taking Berlanga versus Shiraz, I was emotional. That was my emotional bet of the year because I had beef with Turkey. Berlanga Shiraz, emotional burn of the year. Biggest flip flop of the year, Fandora Zoo 2. Worst read of the year, Kid Schofield versus Tevin. Galalia 5 versus Frankie Rod. Frankie Rod popped. So that has an asterisk. Frankie Rod popped in that fight. But I'm going to show Marlon Prince something real quick. No, Justice Hooney was a great read. Guys, Justice Hooney was a great read. Hooney was winning until he wasn't. Chris Weeks, my guy, became a YouTube member. Chris, to get access to the Discord now, the whole world's going to open up. That link, Chris, go to my YouTube channel. You'll see a members only section. You'll see the Discord link. Guys, the Discord isn't just boxing. Boxing, MMA, NBA, NFL, NHL. The F1 season just wrapped up. Max Verstappen lost by 2 points, but he made a run. So we're going to launch F1 next year. And so it's not just boxing. The community, we're at about 320. It's private. It's VIP. Live stream boxing fights. It's great. Great to have you here, Chris. So I want to show you something I've been working on, boys. Give me a second while I copy it. Okay. So we're not live yet. We're going live. We might be live tonight. I'm waiting on my all right. Breaking news. 24/7 live stream boxing. Give me a second, guys. I'm typing. I know I look like a moron right now. Okay. So, guys, I've been talking about how there's no place. How many YouTube channels do you guys have that you could get a 24/7 news ticker, a live stream about all of the ongoings, up-to-date boxing news with the betting odds? For over the cat is out the bag. Over the last 6 months, I've been working on this with a software developer, a hosting site, and a coder, and we've created Boxing News Now. So this is just a demo. It's going to be live either tonight or tomorrow. Okay. So on YouTube, Boxing News Now. That link, go to my page, Johnny Says Boxing. You'll see in the info, click on Boxing News Now. We're not live, but we're launching in the next 2 days. It's going to look like this. This is our demo that's up on Twitch right now, but it's behind a private link. My developer was like, don't share this. I can't wait. So as you can tell, this is going to be a constant live stream. This is a live stream. This is what it's going to be. All of the boxing news all in one place. If you look on the left, that's the ticker. If you look on the right, these are the up-to-date boxing odds. The reason why I didn't pull the trigger and say I wanted it live yet, because I'm trying to get all of the fighters' records. If look on the far right, the upcoming fights: Katia versus Danes, Gomont versus Hisseni. I want each fighter to have their record next to the odds. You don't see it on Sportsbet. You don't see it on Bet365. All you see are the odds like you see now. So he's trying to do what he can to get the updated records. And if we could do it, that's going to be another selling point that, no other. This is a live stream right now. So this is a separate website. Or it's only on YouTube, Boxing News Now. We have a server. We have everything. And this is a tool for you guys. This is a tool that I need. So I created this, and the idea was, how come we don't have like a general place to go with constant boxing news? You got, these bougie websites that the articles are written by one-sided journalists who talk shit about fighters. It's enough. You know what I'm saying? There isn't. Guess what, boys? Here we go. This is it. My vision came from being a kid in the 90s and having ESPN on after school. This when ESPN would just play sports, and it would be constant sports and the news scroll up top. I was like, how do we not have this for boxing? Look, all the fights. Oberton dominates Alexander, an electric Philadelphia fight. Monte Carlo fight wraps up with anticipated results. Crawford's title loss ignites boxing feuds and future uncertainties. That's obviously talking about him not paying the. So you'll see who's right. So also, guys, Boxing News Now. That this is just a really exciting time for me because this was a passion project of mine. It's a YouTube live stream. It's a YouTube live stream. So I pay. We created a hosting site, and we're going live. I'm just waiting on a couple adjustments. My developers keep sending me the model, and I keep telling them to change things. I want to get I'm being a kind of a petty. Am I being too petty to ask for the fight records or no? Guys, what do you think? Look at the far right. Do you think that I'm being too petty by telling the developers I want you to figure out how to put their fight records? Because every time I go to Sportsbet or Bet365, for the most part, I know who the fights are, but I want to know what the records are. We got those are the odds. And then, yeah, this is super exciting. Garcia, and then because it's a live, record is not pay. Okay, good. So you guys are seeing eye to eye. Guys, this is a tool we all need, right? Exactly. All right. I'm excited. As you can tell, I'm fucking excited about this shit. So when we go live, I'll let everybody know. But could you just go to YouTube now and find Boxing News Now? Just click the link. Here, I'll put it here. If you're still watching, just click the link in my YouTube bio. I'll put it here if you're still watching. I'll pin it here, and then you could, because I want you to join first. Okay, if you click that link, that's how you join on YouTube. And for now, it's free. Why don't you create a website so we can click on and search specific fights? Because that wasn't my goal. I don't want a website. I want a live stream. I want a live stream. You create a website, baby. Come on, Floyd. Come on, Floyd. You create a website, big baby. I wanted a live stream. This is a video live stream with up-to-date ticker. It's exactly what I wanted. Put a lot of work into this, boys. Stay tuned. Catch you in the next one.